Okay, let's look at the first one. It says, first of all, we've got this polynomial. It has 3 terms. Do y'all see that? So what kind of polynomial is it? It's a trinomial. Okay. This next one is a trinomial. And this next one is also a trinomial. So we're going to add 3 trinomials together. Now, the big thing on this particular problem that people, if they make a mistake, are going to make it right here. Okay? This minus is basically like saying all of this third trinomial, you need to multiply it by what? -1. Okay? So let's do that now. -1. All right, what is -1 times 5d to the third? That's -5d to the third. What is -1 times -6d to the fourth?
6.
That's a positive 6d to the fourth. Do y'all get that? Because a negative times a negative. And a -1 times a positive 3d squared is -3d squared. All right, are y'all good on what I did to that third polynomial? Okay. So now, I don't have to do anything special here because this would be like multiplying it by +1, so nothing changes. This one, again, it's like multiplying by +1, so nothing changes. All right, and because I color code everything, mentally, that's what you need to do because you're adding, but you're adding a negative all of this. So basically, I just take this and say, all right, let's multiply everything by -1. Let's go ahead and distribute. Okay, I'm going to look, what is my highest degree monomial in any of these? Okay, so I've got a 7d to the fourth here. And now that I did the distribution on this third polynomial, I have a positive 6d to the fourth. Do I have any others that are to the fourth? No? Okay, so that's going to be what? 13d to the fourth. All right, let's do the next highest degree, which is what? All right. So I have an 8d to the third here. And if I just say 8d to the third, it's understood that it's positive 8d, right? Okay. I have a -5d to the third right here. Do y'all see that? All right. So that's really 8d to the third minus 5d to the third. And what do you get? That's a positive 3d to the third because you've got a positive 8d to the third and a negative 5d to the third. Y'all good? Would it be helpful if I hit pause and you guys got your map pencils out, or are you good?
Good.
Okay. All right. All right. Next one. What's the next highest degree that we haven't done? 2. All right. So I've got a positive 2d squared here. I have a positive 4d squared here. And I have a negative 3d squared here. Everybody good? All right. 2d squared plus 4d squared is 6d squared. 6d squared minus 3d squared is, all right, so really it's just plus 3d squared. Okay. And then next highest degree is just your first degree with just d raised to the first power. I have a negative 9d. I have a negative 1d, and that's it. Negative 9d and negative 1d is what? Negative 10d. Here's your final answer. Okay. And remember what we did with this trinomial back here. So it's no longer this. It's now these because I multiplied it all by -1. Are we good? Okay, we're going to go over to 6. Try to use some different colors. All right, what's the first thing I really need to do here? This is really, this second polynomial, you really need to distribute that -1. So what is -1 times 9p to the 4th? Negative 9p to the 4th. What is -1 times a positive 4? That's -4. What is -1 times a -5p squared? Positive 5p squared. Okay? So basically, I've done the distributive property. This is what I have now. Okay? Here I go. Highest degree. Okay, so I'm going to do 3p to the 4th. That's a positive 3p to the 4th. This is a negative 9p to the 4th. Add them. Negative 6p to the 4th. All right. Do I have any p to the 3rds? Nope. P to the 2nd? Yes. And there's only 1 in the whole thing, so you just write it down. Plus 5p squared. Any p to the 1st power? Nope. So now you're just down to your numbers, and that is a positive 6 and a -4, so that is plus 2. Okay, are we good here? I didn't color code. P to the 4th, this was the only p to the 2nd, and then we had some plain old numbers, a positive 6 and a -4. All right, look at number 2. Where do you need to distribute a -1? This second polynomial. Okay. So -1 times 3b to the 3rd is negative 3b to the 3rd. -1 times 7 is -7. -1 times 2b squared is negative 2b squared. So those are my terms after distributing the -1. Okay, so now I can add things together. Look at all 3 of the polynomials that you're adding. What's the highest degree? Okay, so I've got a positive 4b here, 4b to the 3rd. I have a negative 3b to the 3rd from this middle polynomial, and I have a positive 1b to the 3rd over here. So 1b to the 3rd minus 3b to the 3rd is negative 2b to the 3rd. Negative 2b to the 3rd plus 4b to the 3rd is positive 2b to the 3rd. All right. Then we have a couple of things to the 2nd power. Negative 2b to the 2nd. Negative 6b to the 2nd. You add those together and you're going to get negative 8b to the 2nd. All right. Then this is your only b to the 1st, I think, right? Looking around. Yep. Okay. Minus 5b. And then last but not least is your just regular old garden variety numbers. I have an 8 right here, a positive 8. I have a positive 9 right here, and I have a negative 7 right here. 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 minus 7 is 10, so plus 10. There is your polynomial once you combine everything. When it is written from greatest degree to least degree, what is that called? Awesome. It's standard form. All right, on 7, the first step you need to do is recognize this polynomial you're subtracting. So distribute that -1. That becomes negative 5y squared minus 8 minus y to the 5th. Okay, once you've done that, everything else is good. And we can start combining. So what's our highest degree in this one, guys?
5.
Yeah, 5. So this is a positive y to the 5th. This is a negative 1y to the 5th. And those are the only two. Okay, so 4y to the 5th minus y to the 5th is what? 3y to the 5th. Do I have anything to the 4th? Nope. To the 3rd? Nope. To the 2nd? Yes. Okay, so I have a positive 6y to the 2nd here. I have a negative 5y to the 2nd here. And that's it, right? What is 6y squared minus 5y squared? It is 1y squared, so just y squared. And I thought I had that on silent, which I don't. Come on. All right. Okay. Any y to the 1st? Yes. I have a positive 3y here. And that's it, guys, right? So plus 3y. And then all I have left is just plain old numbers. Let's see. I have a positive 2 here. I have a negative 8 here. A negative 7 here. Negative 7 and negative 8 is negative 15. Plus 2, that's negative 13.